So when I was around the age of 14, I believe, I got an electronic keyboard to like practice music on. And I'm very much self-taught. I just kind of learned sort of your traditional organ style of playing. And even that is pretty basic. I learned how to manipulate the keys to get the certain pitch that I want. However, it was kind of a staple in my childhood growing up, and I still have it to this day, many, many years later. The way I would have my keyboard playing, it would be on like this foldable stand, like kind of a black metal foldable stand that looked very much music studio-ish, and didn't really have a homey feel to it. So I wanted to change it up and make something custom, and that's what this video is about. If you're new here, my name is Janine. Welcome, and yes, I don't normally sound like this. I've got a really bad cold. I'm just getting through a stomach bug, so I'm not feeling the best, and I'm sorry I look the way I do. But I do want to make this video, so I apologize. You have to listen to my raspy voice. So a little while ago, we redid the room that I am sitting in, and this is what it looked like before. It was nothing really spectacular. It was just sort of an odds and ends. We called it the desk room. And I really like how we transformed it. It's much more homey. We took away the big old desk that was sitting there and transitioned it to a little bit more of a sitting room. So when we have more people over, there's more room to sit, as well as my office space here with a standing desk. And this has turned into one of my favorite rooms. I work here quite a bit. I love this desk, which I want to talk a little bit more about later. And we transformed the room. If you want to watch that video, I'll have it linked up here somewhere. So my keyboard was sitting in the corner in the old version of the room on that foldable stand, and I did not really like how it looked. And so I started searching online for some ideas on how to make it more homey, or a little more of a piano type feel, you know, like the big old piano sitting in a room. And I saw this one idea that I liked pretty well, and I decided to take the picture I have a cousin that has a woodworking shop, and see if he could make something custom for me sort of like that. And he came through, he got all the measurements, and I was very happy with how it turned out. In my mind, I kind of like more of an open floor plan, and putting this keyboard back into this room kind of took away from that, which is sort of a bite, but I did want it in one of our main rooms. So I did sort of want it up off the floor so that the floor underneath is open. And I decided I hadn't really seen anything done like this, but I got some custom brackets made at our local welding shop, and then we mounted it to the wall. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There's a few things I wish I could change, but I think for the most part, it looks really nice, especially in comparison to what it had looked like before. So I'm anxious to show that to you and our whole process through that. Before we jump into that, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about my standing desk. So different times someone will message me and have questions about this desk. So I just wanted to let you know there's a big sale going on. If you are looking at getting a standing desk, I do highly recommend this one. I have fallen in love with it, if that's the right term to use. So what I really like about this desk is it's very minimal. It kind of still keeps the open floor feeling in the room, not quite such a heavy piece of furniture. And also I can work standing up when I wish. I can set this to 4 different custom settings. So what I did for the 4 different settings, just in case you're curious, I have one setting that I like how it is for when I'm sitting. And then I have the second setting just a little bit higher so I can actually push my chair underneath when I'm not using it. The third setting is exactly the perfect height I like for standing and working. And then the fourth setting, I actually went and bought like one of these smaller desk treadmills. I can just move it in under my desk, and then thus it needs to be even higher yet. And I can watch something while I walk, so that's really handy. I have tried editing and walking, and it's just really cumbersome. It's really hard to do, so I don't usually do that. But for other types of work, you can actually work and walk. And I really like that. So now when I had ordered this desk, I wanted the wooden top, and they were out. So they actually sent me the white top, and I switched it out for a wood. We made our own custom wood top. So if you do order online, it'll be similar to this, but the wood might look a little bit different because the one that we have here, we custom made simply because we wanted a wooden top and they didn't have one at the time. So if you're interested in getting one like I have, it's from a company called FlexiSpot, and the one that I have is Comhar all-in-one standing desk wooden top. You can get various tops if you don't want the wooden top, and I also got the white. They're running a promotion here over the Thanksgiving season. You can get up to 60% off if you buy on the official FlexiSpot website during November 26th through the 29th of 2021. So that's 4 days you get the chance of getting it 60% off. So you would save like $140 off this Comhar all-in-one standing desk if you buy between November 26th and 29th, 2021. Another really cool thing is if you decide to get one, you could actually get a chance at getting it for free. And by doing that, you need to be the first to check out at either 9 a.m. or 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Times. I'll repeat that. If you're the first person to check out right at 9 a.m. or right at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 26th or the 29th, you'll get your order for free. And that's pretty incredible. And I'll have this info down in the description in case you forget. Anyhow, let's get back on to our little project that we're doing.
So hello, I'm definitely usually not the one running the camera, but today I am. These brackets are for Janine's keyboard. As you can tell, they're rusty and they need paint. So I'm just gonna sand them up. I got a couple rattle cans and we'll see what we can do.
I'm not helping Nolan much. Number one, I'm not really presentable. We've been having the flu and a sickness going around, so I'm still just getting over that. So I'm just filming Nolan, and I'm in his hoodie. I look a wreck. I probably have like dirt in my eyes because I just picked up the camera. I didn't even look in the mirror because you know what? I don't even care. I'm just drinking my vitamin C water. Xander here is just getting over his. His hung around for like 10 days. I don't know what it is, but it's just nasty.
Bounce, bounce!
Ask me something, any question, I'll answer best I can. 'Cause I don't want one thing to ever be between your heart and where I stand. When I stood by watching all that morning, you took me by the hand.
You can get a key of C off of
And you held back nothing, let my walls give in and fall away like sand. But don't you ask me when I fell in love. No one answer ever captures all I'm thinking of. It's the strength and grace within, how you never let me win.
Careful, bud. Let Dad get it.
It's the candlelight dancing around rooms. It's the first time that we pray. It's the words we've yet to say.
There you go. I like it.
But I feel them anyway.
Yes.
Now let's get the piano.
Uh-oh.
a couple coats of paint on the top edge and we have a little bit of bracket showing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mom?
Wonder if we have enough wood to move that over a little. That's a good 3/4 inch.
Oh man, so we made a miscalculation. Nolan found studs at each end of the wall. And we brought them in as far as we thought we could go, and then we went and put the piano thing on top. They stuck out further than the piano, so we're trying to figure out what to do. It doesn't look that great. Ah, man.
Why does it keep?
Not convinced that that's...
Why does it keep making that squeaking
I
noise?
don't know. Is it lath and plaster through there?
It might be. It's something's holding, but it doesn't quite... I don't know though.
We are on try number 2. Nolan thinks he found that he can move it over a bit more and still get wood or something strong.
This stinking
No.
mouse will be in there.
Oh man.
All right. Now, is that gonna help you now? I help might be a little bit.
Alright, will it fit?
Oh, that's way a little bit.
Lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah, that looks lovely.
Xander, just
Okay,
hold
just
on.
let it go. I'm going to fasten this box to the brackets now.
Okay, I'm gonna do it with you.
Just anywhere you
That toy.
don't you ask me when I fell in love. No one answer ever captures all I'm thinking. It's the way you stand on your tippy toes.
Coming out.
How the lazy Sunday slowly moves. It's the talking half asleep.
Wait.
It's the way you kiss my cheek. It's the angels clear and reach with you.
Yeah, now let's see if it plays good in here.
I'll try some, Dad. I'll try some. Hey, Dad, move. Hey, don't.
So initially, I had really wanted the brackets to be in, just like maybe even just an inch from the outsides, just for the sake of aesthetically pleasing. I don't like the brackets right at the edge, but that's what we had to do to be able to get into a wall stud. Thankfully, it did work out, and they are set in just a bit, but not much at all. So once Nolan got everything finally figured out, and we got it up, this is how it finally looks. But I want to say one more thing. I have kind of this big wooden rustic bench that does not fit with the whole theme, and that is not my plan for keeping it there. I want to get a really small stool or like a small piano bench to stick under there so it doesn't look like the big bench is taking up so much of the room. I still have to find one yet. So that's the plan. So this is not going to be the final look. I still have to find that, a piano bench, but keep that in mind as you're looking at it. So I do have a video of it without any bench underneath. So I really hope you enjoyed that. I'm guessing some people will wonder what we paid to get that custom made. It was about $650, which is a little expensive, but for the quality of the wood, it's very sturdy and it's going to last, I'd say, the rest of our life. And so I think it's worth it. And it kind of gives a much more homey feel than what it was like before. And I'm really hoping that we can be more of a musical family. I've often enjoyed music when I was young. I can tell Xander really enjoys it. Nolan loves singing. And we haven't really done much of that together as much as we'd like to. And once Xander gets older, I'd like to have him take some kind of lessons. And I think it'd be neat if we have a family that grows up singing and playing instruments. So this is kind of the first step. Moving on to pregnancy, how have I been doing? I'm sorry, I'm sure it's just monotonous listening to me. I just feel like, you know how it is when you have a cold. So I feel like a dead zombie. I will be around 16 weeks when you watch this. I'm currently 15, but pretty much 16. The first trimester wasn't actually as bad as it could have been. I didn't get like super sick, but I was extremely tired and nauseous, but not like overbearingly so. But the extreme fatigue, I mean, I just had no motivation, no energy. My hormones are kind of all over the place. And I just slept and slept and slept and slept. Thankfully, my son, Xander, who's 4, is old enough that he could sort of entertain himself and let me take naps and that type of thing. So I don't know how these moms do it. They have these 1-year-olds and 2-year-olds and they're pregnant, and my hat goes off because I was just like existing for a while. But thankfully, once I started getting into my second trimester, that started wearing off and I'm feeling much more myself. Compared to my first pregnancy, I hardly even know I'm pregnant except for the fact that I'm just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. If you want to see my baby bump, it's getting definitely a little bit more pregnant-y. I definitely have more of a pregnant look, and was hoping to be able to be in my normal dresses for a little bit longer, but they are starting to get snug and just pooling in places and getting too tight. So I just decided I'm gonna jump straight into my maternity dresses. I have a friend that's helping me sew because right now I just do not like to sew. She does such a good job. I have so many other things going, so I'm like, if she sews for me, perfect, I gladly pay her to do it. So she's a really good seamstress and she's making me quite a few more. So anyway, kind of off topic, but speaking of this pregnancy compared to my first, I was really miserable throughout most of my pregnancy with Xander. The midwife had said that my stomach muscles were so tight that they just weren't loosening very well, and it was just making me super uncomfortable. So now that I've been stretched out, it's much more comfortable this round. Obviously, I popped much quicker. I also started much heavier than I was then, sadly. But it's been going really well. Yeah, like I said, besides hormones now and then, I just hardly know you're pregnant. And it's just been such a blessing. And as far as my health issues, that has been going really well. So thank you for your prayers. A lot of you have been telling me you're praying for me for this pregnancy, that it's healthy, because I've struggled with various health issues. So I just am just so grateful to God for how well it's going, because there were so many fears, and I know I'm not through it yet, but with my ulcerative colitis, if I go into a flare while I'm pregnant, it's not a good thing to be in, for sure. If it continues like this, I just have so much to be thankful for. Xander is quite excited. He's constantly asking me now, how big is the baby now? How big is the baby now? When we first told him he could hardly have it, that he had to be 5 before the baby's here. I told him it has to first snow, and then the snow has to leave. It has to get warm because I'm due in May. So yeah, that's kind of the update. Sometimes I'm like, am I actually pregnant? I mean, I'm definitely starting, I just feel fat. Then I go to the midwife and there's a resounding heartbeat, so praise God for that. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully next time I won't be quite this croaky. I'm hoping I'll get a video out next week. If I still feel this gross, I'm not sure if I'm gonna push for one. I do have some freezers that need cleaned out that I'm terrified to show you all, but they desperately need cleaned out, and do some organizing there. So if I get the energy to do that and get the video edited before next week, I will try to do that. Next week is Thanksgiving. I'm gonna have a bunch of family around, so I'm gonna be quite busy getting ready for that. So we'll see how much time I have, and hopefully I get over this sickness soon so I can get going again. But anyway, if I don't see you guys next week, I hope you all have a lovely Thanksgiving full of lots of good food and family and friends. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for being here. Bye.